This video will go over the week 3 journal. I'm going to open up this journal and talk about what is inside of it and give some tips and pointers for doing this activity. The first thing you need to do is open the journal for week number 3 that is linked here. When I open it up, it is a Google Doc. This should look familiar by now. So it's open and you're going to go to File, Make a Copy. Once you've made your own copy of the journal, now you can edit inside of it. Most of you probably figured out how to do this already this semester, but I know some people who are more familiar with Microsoft Word might have downloaded it. That action is done by File and Download. But the thing is, I want you working in Google Docs. And the reason is that I use the Google tools, including the comments down the side. So one of the things that I love my students to do is to comment the way I did over here. And to make a comment, all you have to do is highlight something. And as soon as you highlight it and you release the mouse, there's this plus sign. You click on it and you can add a comment. Then when I go to grade your journal, I will reply to your comments. It gets a dialogue going and I can give you all individualized help on your work. I have instructions at the top. That's basically what I'm talking about right now, like making a copy of it and then moving it into your journal folder in your Google Drive. So the instructions for setting up the Google Drive are on Canvas. And if you haven't set yours up yet, you're going to need those instructions. So let's say I'm going to move this into a folder in Google Drive. I'm going to hit this Move button at the top. Then there's some arrows and things like that. Now, I have a lot in my Google Drive, so mine isn't going to look exactly like yours. But I've got to back way out of here to get to a view that looks like this. And you're going to want the same thing because your folder is going to be in the Shared with Me part of your Google Drive since I made your folder and shared it with you. So you're going to click here and you go to your Shared with Me. Now, what you're actually seeing right now is former students of mine in this class because some of them shared things with me. And so they're listed here, but so are many, many, many other things because I have lots of things that go back and forth between other people and myself at ODU. So once you've chosen a folder, here, let me stick it somewhere so I can just finish these steps, but I don't want to put it in the students folder because they'll get a notification and they might be really confused. So let's see, I'm going to move it to, gosh, I have a lot of stuff in here, huh? I'm going to put it, I'll put it in here, English 555. And then I just click move here. And then I'm getting a notification, hey, everybody who is in that folder will be able to see it. That's fine. So I'm going to move it there. And now I know that that's where this is. It's always a good step to rename it, like put your last name here. So if I did it like I was a student in the class, I might go like this and just rename it. You can see here that you can check where it's actually located by pretending to move it. You can see that it says it's in the English 555 folder. Or in your case, it's going to be in the shared folder I made for you. So the next thing you need to do is share it with me. Go to the share button and, okay, I own it. So this is a little bit fake. And I'm going to go ahead and go, I'm going to remove access because that's a student from that other class. Anyway, I'm going to pretend like I'm going to share it with myself. And I type in djvincel@odu.edu. When you type in my email, it'll pop up and then you can just click on it to share it with me. Now, you may not even need to do it. If you've already moved it into your shared folder, then it's automatically shared with me. But if you want to just double check it, this is what you will do. And if you're doing this out of order and you aren't doing it in your folder and you haven't moved it there, then you really want to make sure you're sharing it with me. Because if I go to open it and I can't see it because you didn't share it properly, it's going to be considered late. since I've given instructions on this, there are penalties attached to late work. Find out what those penalties are in the syllabus for the class. You want to go check it out. I have some late passes and I have some drop grades and I have extensions. So you really want to go see it. Okay, so once you've shared it, then don't send it to me or notify me. Actually, just copy the link and then you go back to Canvas. And then where it says web URL right here, you click there and you paste the link right there in the box. And then you say next. And then you'll get the confetti. I'm not going to go through all those steps because in this view, I'm pretending to be a student. So I'm going to leave student view now and actually head back into the journal assignment to talk a little bit more about what you're doing for the work. I'm not going to read all this to you. The video right here, this blue highlight, is the video I'm making now. I will link to it in the instructions and inside of Canvas, like both places, in these instructions and in the Canvas instructions. The first thing, this should start to look a little familiar to you. Section 1 is called Reflection and Connections. It's worth 20 points. I want you to ask me a question about one of the readings, the paper assignment, or maybe a question about writing in general. Now, sometimes my students get stuck on this, so I'm going to add something here. If unsure, ask, just tell me something you learned different from what's below. There, I added that in there because I know sometimes people get stuck. So I just gave you a lifeline. You're going to fill in here where it says fill in, and then you're going to write about something you learned from one of the video lectures I posted. Then you move down to the second section, which is your short answer section. It's worth 30 points. And here you're writing about the readings. All of these readings are in Perusall. Well, one of them is actually a video. Sorry, the second one. This is the Embrace the Near Win video. This reading, Shitty First Drafts, is in Perusall. You know what I'm going to do here? I'm just going to live edit this in my video for clarity and put the word Perusall right there. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here as well, just to make it super clear. All right, so follow these instructions here, write about what you learned, do the fill in the blank thing, and then go to the last part of the journal. The first thing I ask you to do is write an outline of the paper. The outline is on Canvas. It's also here. You can head out of this document and go look at the sample outline and follow along with what you see there. Then you do step number 2, which is to write your shitty first draft of your paper. It's called a shitty first draft, of course, because of the reading called that this week. I want you to remember to go back and look at the sample papers. On Canvas, there's a page that goes over the assignment and the sample papers. Go back and check it out again if you get stuck or you want more help. A tip I have for you is to go back and look at your journal from last week. That is where you already have ideas for what could go in here. So your outline goes down here and step 1, and then step 2 is to do the actual draft. Each of these is 25 points because it's half and half. The grading criteria is down here below. And then I have what I went over for sharing in this video written down at the bottom. That is how you do Journal 3 for the 3rd week of this semester. Thanks for watching.